Hey, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday night community call. My name is Meg Johnson, and it is Valentine's Day. It is Tuesday, February 14th, and we are excited to spend some time in community tonight. We have such a great call in store for you tonight. You're going to hear from some really special friends, but wanted to just kick us off by sharing that I've been coaching for about, goodness, almost 6 years. And my story, from my top weight to my lowest weight, I have lost a total of 77 pounds. And you don't lose 77 pounds without having a whole lot of pain and without really struggling with emotions. And so I just want to acknowledge sometimes Valentine's Day can be hard for us, right? It can bring up lots of emotions and memories and different things like that. So we just want you to know we are glad that you are here and excited to spend some time in community and connection. And, we're going to be talking about loving ourselves to health and loving ourselves all the way to healthy, which is kind of what we're all about. And you can't really get healthy through shame, right? That's not a sustainable way to get healthy. And a lot of times when we're trying to get healthy from shame, we are stuck in that cycle where we feel deprived, right? So I want to just empower you and encourage you today to remember that it is a choice. You chose to be here on this Tuesday night and spend time with us. You made a decision and a choice to get healthy. And so whenever I start to want, like, I'm human, I'm a coach and I'm human and I love chocolate. That is like my kryptonite, right? So I try to remember, Meg, you get to have anything that you want. I talk to myself like that sometimes. What do you want the most? And that keeps me from a place of deprivation and leads me to empowerment. And I get to choose. And that way I don't have to feel ashamed. In Optavia, with our community, we never cheat, right? We always choose. So just want to put that out there. Also wanted to tell a little story as we're getting started. Elizabeth talked about being a nurse. We have a lot of nurses and doctors in our community. We have surgeons, we have teachers, we have firefighters, we have stay-at-home mamas. We have all kinds of different people that serve and love and take care of families and extended families and friends and their households. And, I talk to a lot of people who feel overwhelmed and they are tired. I opened my Zoom room today to somebody who said she was one tired mama, and I can identify with that wholeheartedly. And, I think there's this thought in our culture right now of like, oh, just give to everybody else. And we can forget that in order to get healthy, we've got to put our oxygen mask on ourselves first, right? We've got to make sure that we are okay so that we can help everybody else. And I heard this little story from Rachel Hollis a couple of years ago. She said, so many of us are like a vase, so many of us are like a pitcher. And when the pitcher fills up with water, right, it pours out, it's trying to get all the water to pour out. And then eventually it'll fall to the ground and crack, right? Because there's nothing left in that pitcher, right? So if instead of trying to be a pitcher, if we can think of ourselves like a vase, and I know some of you probably have flowers in your vases today, but if you can think about being a vases, they stand tall, they're filled with water, and then when they overflow, the water comes out on every side of the vase, right? So the way that I think about it is when I view myself as a vase and when I treat myself as a vase, so I'm putting my oxygen mask on first. I've got my health in order. I'm getting my water in. I'm taking care of me. I'm getting in my life book. I am better able to care for my clients and my family and my brand new puppy dog that's given me a run for my money. And everybody else in my world benefits when I put my own oxygen mask on first. So just wanted to give you that little bit of a reminder today, because I have a feeling there is somebody, and it might be you, that needed that reminder that it's okay to put yourself first and it's okay to say no. All right. So I would love to introduce you to my friend, Stephanie. She is going to share an example with us that, man, she shared it with me a few months ago and it shifted things for me. So Stephanie, will you share with us?
Yes. Hey, everybody. I am just so glad you all are here. And just real quick, when I think of Valentine's Day, I always think of Lucille Ball, that episode where she's shoving all the chocolates in her mouth, because that's what I used to love to do is just shove them all in and not even taste them. But also what I love, I found a quote by Lucille Ball, which kind of shifted my mindset on chocolate and Valentine's and everything else. And it said, love yourself first and everything else falls into place. So I'm so glad that you all are here and putting yourself first. It's a testament. I think we have over 64 people here. But I would like you all, if you have a piece of paper, grab that and a pen. If you don't, grab a napkin that's nearby and a pen, and take that piece of paper, and I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, draw a line right down the middle of that paper. And on the left side of the page, I want you to write the words unreachable, unattainable, unachievable, unworthy, and impossible. So that's unreachable, unattainable, unachievable, unworthy, and impossible. And I want you to think for a minute. I'm not going to give you what to put on that right side of the page, because everybody has their own journey. Everyone has their own health journey, and everyone is in a different stage of their journey right now. Whether you just started, whether you're thinking of starting, or you're in transition or optimizing, maybe thinking of coaching as well to pay it forward, or maybe you are coaching in a client as also. And I want you to think about what's unreachable. What is unreachable for you right now? And I don't want you to think of it too much. I just want you to put the first thing that comes to your head and write that on the right side of the page next to the word unreachable. What do you think is unattainable? First thing that comes to your mind that's pulling on your heart or in your gut. There's no right or wrong answers on here. What's unachievable for you? For unworthy, what do you feel that you are unworthy of? Again, there's no right or wrong answers. So there's nothing that's silly. Just write that down. Impossible. Now with impossible, I want you to think huge. I want you to think like it's completely impossible that this or that could ever happen to me. I'm going to write that down on the right side of the page next to that. And on the very top of that paper, I want you to write the two words, this is. And so when you look at your paper, it's going to say, this is unreachable, whatever that is on the right side. This is unattainable. This is unachievable. This is what it feels to be unworthy. And this is impossible. If you're listening to this on the recording, or if you don't have the paper and you're just listening to me right now, re-listen to this recording from tonight and actually write this down. There's such power in writing, which is exactly why Dr. A has written the life book the way that it is, where it just starts off in bullet points and goes into long journaling. So there's so much power in writing. So if you should have that down because you're going with your gut instinct. So now what I want you to do is on that left side of the page where those words are, I want you to cross out the first two letters of each of those words. Underneath the big this is, cross out those two first letters, which are UN for the first word, UN on the next one, UN, and I am. Now I want you to look back on that paper and I want you to read that to yourself and read as this is reachable. And what you put on there, this is unattainable. This is achievable. This is worthy. And this is possible. and to really make an impact on yourself and kind of switch your and shift your change of your thinking and maybe overthinking a lot of these negative thoughts that we do to ourselves all the time, because our thoughts are not ourselves, it's just in our head. To say these out loud, and I'll take a double dog dare from Meg and say, look at yourself in the mirror, whether you do this tonight before you go to bed or tomorrow morning when you wake up, and read this out loud to yourself, because you all are worthy. And I really appreciate you all being here tonight and taking this time for you. Thanks, Meg.
Stephanie, that was so good. The chat, everybody's loving it in the chat. If you want to share some of your answers in the chat so that we can celebrate with you, or take a picture and send it to your coach. I know for so many of us, our journey to getting healthy felt impossible in the beginning, right? Or unattainable. Some of our goals felt unattainable. And so you're about to hear some stories of people that are living proof that what it is that you want, you really are capable of doing, and the impact that it can have in you. So I want to just introduce you to a couple of my friends that I just have loved getting to know. Want to start us off with Robin. Robin, are you on? If so, can you pop off mute and share with us a little bit about your journey? And when we were talking last week, you were sharing how your journey has really helped you to love yourself in a new way and see yourself differently. So we'd love to hear from you. And I'll look for you, and we'll go to the next person because I don't see you just yet. So let's go to, cute couple sitting over there, Lisa and Dan. Would y'all share, you're spending your Valentine's with us, and we are so grateful. Would you share with us a little bit about your story? I know you have had such incredible transformation. So will you share that with us and what it's been like to do this together?
Sure.
Yeah.
We're Lisa and Dan, and we live in Arlington, Virginia. Dan's retired firefighter. I work still down on Capitol Hill. Hectic, busy life. We have a beach house. My work involves all kinds of events, event planning, staying in hotels, eating, drinking. We have been together about 10 years, and the first 5 of those 10 years, we came from unhappy situations, met each other, fell in love, just had a ball.
Our love grew, and so did we.
And we gained all this weight together. And I'm a type 1 insulin dependent diabetic. And in 2017, I was 200 pounds. And my endocrinologist said, let's try Trulicity, which is a once a week shot with a needle about that long. It curbs your appetite, and it worked. And from 2017 until 2018, 19, I guess, I lost 30 of those pounds, and I've been like at 170-ish. They're on, and I quit. We both. He went with me, kind of, not taking Trulicity, but
Lowering carbs.
we do everything with cauliflower and zoodles, and we low carb, kind of keto diet. We did eat bacon, and I'm thinking I'm doing something good, and I'm not eating carbs, but I'm shoving fat into my mouth like crazy. We ate cashews and peanuts and trail mix and just fried chicken, and not a carb. And I just didn't get anywhere past that 170 point. And they took me off. My insurance decided I wasn't a good candidate after 5 years with Trulicity. So they quit covering it for me. So here I am, and I got a new insulin pump, which is amazing. It's doing great. It's closed loop. I don't have to think a lot about it. Just have to enter in what kind of carbs I eat. And so here I am now. I'm not on the Trulicity. I don't have anything to curb my appetite anymore. It's summertime. We're at the beach, and I've got this new pump that I can eat what I want and it covers it. My blood sugar is great. And, so we had a great time at the beach this year, but we were at a favorite bar we love, an outdoor beach bar called Coconuts, and we're eating big things of nachos with cheese just dripping everywhere. Yeah. And friends of ours came down at the very end of August, and we had a picture taken with them. And I didn't even know who we were in this picture. Here we are. I'm thinking I'm all hot and cute because I don't eat carbs. And, I'm fat. And Dan, I don't think he liked the way he looked
No,
in the picture either.
after retiring, I had gotten up as high as 260. And when we cut back on carbs, I got down to 230. And when we started Trulicity, I was 236 in September when we started. Not Trulicity, Optavia. I was 236 when we started in September. I am now 186.
And I was 173 when we started. When we got home from the beach, I looked at those pictures and I said, okay, it's time to do something. And I called Sandra Vita. My kids and Sandra and her two sisters all went to high school together. And I watched her transformation on Facebook, and she lost 98 pounds or something. And she's just amazing. And I thought, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And then because I know everything, I don't need to be told anything. I know it all, right? So I'm thinking, well, that's more carbs than I eat now. And I'll never lose weight with this. And that's 15 grams of carb every 6 hours, right? Or 3 hours, 2 hours. So anyway, I bit the bullet and I did it. And I've lost 28 pounds since September. My blood sugar, my A1C last week was 5.9, which is fantastic for an insulin dependent diabetic. His blood work came back. I mean, it's amazing
The change in my blood work.
what it's done for us.
The only problem I had was I passed out at her boss's house at his Christmas party because I'm now taking too much blood pressure medication.
Like,
They had to cut back my blood pressure medication.
I've cut back my insulin delivery. It's amazing what this has done for us. We feel so much better. We're energetic. We walk. We walk together. And another big thing that really, I didn't go a day without my glass of wine, and that was really worrying me when we started about, I got to give up my wine, And it was not easy the first 2 weeks. I came home from work and really wanted that glass of wine, but we made our way through it. We did through it. We don't drink anymore, and that's huge. I mean, in our health journey as well as weight, but it's just done amazing things for me. So my coach, who is one of my kids' high school friends, who I know everything, right? She's been so patient and kind with me, and she let me say what I wanted to say when I said it, and then prove that I was wrong. So I owe a lot to her. She's a wonderful coach. She's an amazing person, and I'm grateful that she's been there for us. And I love doing it together.
Together is so much easier.
We're on the same schedule. We eat breakfast in the morning before I go to work. It's been so great to do it together. Although we're on the same diet and on the same plan, and he's lost 50 pounds and I've lost 28.
Well, I also go out and walk. That she's at work, and I can go do things.
You're both on your own journeys, but look at what you have accomplished together.
We are. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. And I'm over that too.
And you were so open-minded. So we all come in, right, to our journeys having certain preconceived notions or our past or whatever. So kudos to you, Lisa, for kicking those to the curb, and saying,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm going to have a fresh experience. I'm going to put,
Let's do it.
yeah, let's do it." So if you will trust this program, speaking to everyone out there, you are in store for some incredible results if you will be open-minded and coachable, just like these two. Thanks for sharing your story and
I
sharing.
want to say one quick last thing. It
Yeah.
was a quote on the radio this morning. They did something and it reminded me of all of us tonight. We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve this beauty.
I love that.
That's Maya Angelou. So we're constantly changing, and here we are.
Yeah.
So
Thank
it's
you.
all right. Well, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Wednesday. Next, we're going to move to Andrea. Andrea when I first got to meet Andrea, my jaw hit the floor, and the ways that she was speaking about how her journey has impacted her, I just knew that y'all needed to hear from her. So Andrea, would you pop off mute and share with us?
Yes, here I am. Thank you. So I started this whole journey because I'd been thinking about it for a long time, and it's honestly, last year was terrible for me. I lost my father. I lost my father-in-law. My daughter was admitted to the hospital several times and has a debilitating disease. So it was a lot. And she was a freshman in high school. And, I had just gotten to the point where I was always doing for other people. And I'm that person that chronically volunteers. I am a teacher, so I overdo everything. Everybody's like, how do you have time? And like, why do you just learn to say no? No is a full sentence. And that has never been me. So when you're talking about the oxygen mask, I would automatically give it to somebody else before I do it for myself. So changing my mindset and getting to this point to actually reach out to Stephanie Sweeney, who's my coach, was a big deal for me because I'm very private. Like, I'm not a person that's like, oh, hey, look at me, let me tell you everything. So, and I had been watching some people from my area that were losing weight, that were in their 40s and 50s. I have Hashimoto's disease, so it's always been harder for me to lose weight. And finally, I was like, one night I was like, hey, Stephanie, I'm interested in doing whatever you've been doing, because I saw her going through her transformation and always talking about it. And I had noticed in other people that, were moms of, kids, my kids' age. Like, my son just went off to college. He goes to college in Ireland. So it was a big year. We had lots of big transitions. So when I reached out to her, she immediately got back to me, and I kind of like waited a few days, because honestly, for me, it needed to be my journey, because I've never done anything for myself. That's just not who I am as a person. I'm always doing for other people. And I just, everybody, I get made fun of a lot for that, because I'm always taking on extra. I never think about myself. So for me, it was very personal to decide to do it. And it's only been since January. So I've lost weight, which I had never lost before. Like, it's nice to actually lose. I'm always saying I've lost my boobs, which is nice because they're getting too big there. So for me, it was a big deal. And it's nice now that, I was getting to the point that I didn't want to go out because I didn't like the way I looked in clothes or what have you. And, I'm going to be 47 this year. So all these different things. My husband had lost about 70 pounds over the past year and a half. And so he was in that mindset and he was doing it, but I just couldn't bring myself to get there. So with this, it's so easy. I don't have to think about it. Yet, I've just noticed I don't have like those crashes during the day. And as a teacher, you get crashes like big time. Like, oh my gosh, it's 2:00 in the afternoon and I'm done. But I'm not getting that. My kids have noticed, which is actually really nice, because they're kids, so you don't think that they're going to say anything. But my son, he FaceTimes us from Ireland every night. He's like, Mom, you look good. Keep it up. You can do this. You can do this. And so he's a big health buff. So and he always used to say, come on, Mom, you can do this. And he used to try to train me. He used to take me out for training sessions, which was a mess. But anyway, so it's nice because he's a great cheerleader. And so is my daughter. She's cheering for me. She's like, you can do this. Even when she's been in the hospital, I've been able to take the plan with me. And it was like I didn't have to think. And that was one less thing I had to think of. And at the same time, taking care of myself, which was huge for me.
Wow,
So
Andrea, your story is so powerful. And I know that was like right when you started your journey, when your daughter went to the hospital and you were like, okay,
yes, that was the third time in like a few months she was in the hospital for, yeah. So
you just controlled what you could control and you kept it moving. And your story is
that's
so
a good way to put it, controlling what I can control, which was a big deal because I always felt like things were so out of control. And now, this was good.
yeah. And I love when we first met, you were like, I haven't been able to lose weight in years.
No,
And
literally.
yeah. And
Like would hide in every picture, and we travel a lot, so there's a lot of pictures going on, and I'm always the person like hiding myself or trying to get that perfect angle or whatever.
well, thank you for being brave and sharing your story with
Thank
us.
you.
Light, you are an inspiration. So love your story.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Stephanie.
She's giving you a heart. I don't know if you see her. Well, now we're going to move to my friend Robin. Robin has been on plan, and Robin, we were talking last week and you shared how you have had such a big change in the way that you are seeing yourself. Would you share with us? And you're on mute. Let's see can you click the unmute button?
Are we good now?
Good. We're good.
I'm so sorry. I am so technologically illiterate.
No, you're doing great.
So I really do appreciate the shared stories that I've heard tonight. I know I've kind of been in and out, but amazing, inspirational stories. Thank you so much for sharing. But Meg, I think what we've discussed this week is like, I completely have lost myself in the last several years trying to build a business and being super busy on the road, not taking care of myself at all, which is not me. And I feel like the greatest change since I've been on plan is really finding me again, feeling strong, feeling confident, feeling motivated, feeling energized, feeling determined. I'm so happy with where I'm at. I'm back to exercising pretty intensely, which is kind of my happy place, and feeling very confident in doing that. I could not have done this without Optavia and the discipline of the plan. Life is busy, it's crazy. It's hard to stop during the day and think about what you need and what you deserve, and treating yourself kindly with what you're putting into your body. But honestly, I've gained that discipline again, and I'm so grateful. It's been so good for me.
Man, Robin, I love that. And I know you, and you are the person that gives and serves and all the things to all the people. And I'm a recipient of that. But it's been really cool to see how you have said, okay, I'm going to take care of me now. And there was this time after Christmas where you were like, this might be good enough. I don't know. But then you got sick, but then you came back with a vengeance. So if you are out there watching and you're like, man, maybe is this good enough? I mean, Robin is here living proof on it's worth it to keep going, to contend, to finish what you started. I really admire.
It's so easy. It's so easy to make the choice to give up on yourself to serve others for a lot of us, I think, out there. But I am learning at almost 60 that is the wrong decision. You have to give to yourself first. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing your story with us tonight. Thank you to everyone who was on tonight, and for everybody who shared a story. We are just so grateful to be in community with you. We hope wherever you are watching, whether you're catching us live or recording, you will know that you are loved, and we are really glad to be in community with you. We will see y'all here next Tuesday night for another community call. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Meg.
Thank y'all. Bye-bye.